time management strategies. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. By Ben Franklin. Nobody plans to fail, but in a way we do if we fail to plan. First of all, it's very important that you spend some time each night or in the morning planning your upcoming day or days. Not many things of great value are ever accomplished without some planning. Planning helps us avoid consequences that are serious and stressful. Without planning, our lives feel the way I felt that day at the beach when I was body surfing and continually getting slammed to the ocean floor, wave after wave, almost drowning and completely out of control. If, however, you plan your days ahead of time and decide the most important things to do, you can ride the waves and enjoy them. Planning involves knowing what you want and deciding the appropriate steps to get it. Dr. Covey taught the principle of putting first things first. The essence of this principle is that in the hustle and bustle of doing many little things, the important things in your life might be at risk. When the important things get left behind, you're left with empty, anxious feelings. The quote by Thoreau recognizes this dilemma. It's not enough to be busy. So are the ants. The question is, what are we busy about? Doing everything is not as valuable as doing the most important things. For some of us, however, it often feels like we have a very full plate and we can't easily take anything off of it. Everything is important. Some of the items on our plate seem altogether too big by themselves, let alone in combination with everything else we have to do. Does this sound familiar? It's very stressful. This reminds me of some wise words one of my professors told me when I was beginning my work on my PhD. We were contemplating the task of writing a dissertation. I asked my professor how I should attack such a monumental task. His reply to me was something I remember every time I have a big task in front of me. He asked me, "How do you go about eating an elephant?" Without missing a beat, he answered his own question. One bite at a time. In other words, divide large projects into a bunch of small, easy-to-manage tasks. As I followed his advice and divided this massive undertaking into much smaller, manageable pieces, I was able to not only complete my dissertation, but also do it with much less stress. Prioritize. A necessary component of your planning should include a system that prioritizes which things on your list are the most important and should be done first. First, you want to create a to-do list. Make sure it is in a clearly accessible location where you can easily refer to it during the day. Be sure to include the portions of important projects you have broken down into smaller segments and items that are significant to your mission, health, and relationships. Now identify the most important items on the list, those things that absolutely must be worked on today. Put a letter A next to them. Things that should be done today but are not as important, get a B next to them. Things that can be done today, get a C. Now go through each group. Look at the A group, identify the very most important item and place a 1 next to it. The second most important item in Group A gets a 2 next to it. Number all of the A's in order of their importance and necessity in getting accomplished today. Then do the same thing with the B and C groups. Here is an example of how a prioritized daily plan might look. You focus on the A items in order of importance. Do item A1 first, then move to A2. When you're finished with the A group, move to complete the items in the B group in their order of importance. Any items not completed are moved to another day's to-do list. There are many variations of this method that you could try, but regardless of the method, it is imperative that you prioritize. In addition to the need to plan, manage, and prioritize is the requirement of following through on your plan. The natural inclination with the to-do list is to do the easiest and most enjoyable items first. Most people procrastinate the difficult and unpleasant tasks. Sometimes these are high-priority items that are also very important. If you don't follow through by working on the highest priority items first, then those important items are likely to turn into urgent and dreadful tasks that start to feel more like the ocean waves that increase anxiety and turn on the stress response. If you prioritize and then follow through on the important items of your to-do list, the natural results are peace and happiness. Contentment and satisfaction occur when the things that are most important are done first, and less important things are done last. Chaos, frustration, and anxiety result when you don't have a plan and you spend your time doing the unimportant things first. Interruptions and flexibility. You're probably saying to yourself that this is all well and good, but I'm constantly being interrupted from my planned schedule, and sometimes those things that come up feel more important to me than the items I put on my list during my planning time. This leads to the final and very important steps to time management. Find out what it is in the next video.